Greetings LEGO and D&D nerds, my name is Ian, and welcome to another episode of Brick Bestiary, the show where I build D&D creatures out of LEGO bricks. Now I sort of changed up my plan for this episode. Originally I was going to tackle a heavily requested build for all 4 types of LEGO genies. I've been working on them for a while. I just finished those up and that was going to be my second February video, but I'm actually going to push that one back, so I hope all of you who have requested it won't be too mad at me. But I've been doing a lot of pre-recording for a big project that I'm going to be doing in March, and I'm also getting over a cold, so I just really didn't feel like talking that much to do like a 4 builds in one video sort of thing. So instead I decided I'm just going to push the genies back a little bit. I promise that they are coming, but this week we're just going to do something a little bit smaller. The creature I decided to go with is on page 273 of the 2014 Monster Manual, a skeletal Minotaur. I made this guy for a necromancy themed dungeon that my players ran through, and I actually had to go fetch his axe from upstairs because after they defeated him, our fighter kept his axe as loot with the skeletal hand still attached. So that's like his regular weapon now. I had to go steal it from his minis so that I could put it back on the build. We'll begin like I often do with one of these 1x1 bricks with snot studs on all of the sides. In this case I'm using white because we're building a skeleton, and the bottom stud is actually going to face the front. So knowing that that's the front, I'm going to take a tan 1x1 and put it on top, and a white 1x1 and put it on the bottom. And I'm going to take a Technic half pin and place it into that bottom stud, so I have another attachment point on this side where I'm going to attach one of these 1x2 grill elements to kind of look a little bit like ribs. We're going to center it on that Technic half pin. It'll wobble a little bit, but some of the other components will help hold it in place. On the top we're going to place a vertical clip, and on top of that we're going to place this tan 1x1 triangle shaped cheese slope. Now I'm going to take a white droid body, and that's going to be my skull. I'm going to attach 2 minifig hands to the shoulder sockets to be our bull horns, and I'm going to take one of these clips to go on the front and give our nose some more volume. Then I'm going to clip the whole thing onto this clip, and when I rotate it down, it'll help keep that rib cage from wobbling too much. Now I'm going to put a 1x1 on either side and stack on top of those clips that will be attachment points for our arms. And finally, I'm going to take this tan 1x2 tooth piece and place it on the back. I'm going to center the pin to this stud. I'm using these teeth in the back to kind of give it a sort of spiked look here, and if you're a little bit confused why, I encourage you to look up a picture of a bison skeleton, and you'll notice that they have sort of these protruding bones along their back, which are muscle attachment points for their heavy neck muscles. So I figure since this is where the Minotaur head starts transitioning back into a cowl from a person, they might have some similar spiky bones here, and it helped to kind of round out this top part, which was looking a little flat before I added these. When I built my non-skeletal Minotaur for the advent calendar, I kind of built up that neck muscle with some cheese slopes, so for the skeletal version, I think including those spikes here works really well. Now to build the rest of the arms, I'm going to go ahead and take 2 tan droid bodies and attach them here. I'm using a mix of tan and white, as you've noticed, to kind of give some of the bones a little bit more of an aged look and just break up the monotony a bit. Then onto the end of those droid bodies, I'm going to place 2 white vertical clips, and then underneath those 2 of these clips with the closed ring to be fists. I'm adding these minifig hands on the bottom side here and here to form thumbs, which I often do on big figs like this, and then I can rotate these arms down a little bit, just like that. Now for the lower torso, I'm going to start with this very unique piece. This is a pretty old piece that hasn't been manufactured in I don't know how long. I believe it's supposed to be a microscope base, but I have one in white that came with my dad's Legos, and I really wanted to use it for this build. I was trying to work it in for the head, because it kind of has sort of a skull-ish look, but that wasn't working out. So we're going to be using it for the torso instead. Into this hole here, I'm going to take a 1x2 red plate and connect one of the studs, and that will hang down like a loin cloth. Then I'm going to take these 1x2 slope pieces with a tile top and put one on each side like this. Then I'm going to attach these horizontal clips onto the underside of those slopes, and I'm going to take these bar clips and attach them to the clip like that with the studs facing down. I'll add 2 white studs onto the bottom of those, and then 2 white cheese slopes to be our hooves. But he's not going to stand unless we attach him to a base. So I'm going to take one of these translucent studs with a 45-degree bar, and I'm going to insert the bar onto this open stud on the bottom of the microscope piece. Then I'm going to take a minifig stand and stack up translucent 1x1s 3 high, and add a stud with a pin on top, and I'll insert that pin into the translucent hollow stud that we've already attached. Then I can just bring his hooves down to touch the plate, and he'll stand up all by himself now. This stud will attach to the center of the microscope, and it'll form the bottom of the rib cage and attach the leg. But before we do that, I want to give him some cool shoulder armor, and I'm going to do that by taking these short chain pieces, and I'm going to put the hollow studs over the shoulder joints on one of the droid arms. Then I'm going to connect these 2 studs together, and I'm going to loop it around that stud so it looks like he's wearing this chain, like it's holding his armor in place. Then I'll go ahead and connect that stud where I showed, leaving that just kind of to dangle there. And I'm going to take this cool chrome gold radar dish and place it on the back stud of the droid body to be his sort of shoulder armor here. Now he needs a weapon, so I'm going to rotate this arm up a little bit to accept it, and I'm going to pop the hand off so I can fish this brown bar into it. On the top of that, I'm going to take this lightsaber handle with the studs on 2 sides and attach these 2 rough looking axe heads in this dark pearl silver. This is one of my favorite Lego colors. Now all that's left to do is reattach his arm, and there we have a skeletal Minotaur. So that is our Lego skeletal Minotaur. I hope you guys enjoyed this build. You can let me know in the comments down below how you think he turned out. And once again, I would like to apologize to everyone who's been patiently waiting for that genie video. I've gotten several requests for it from some of my regular viewers, and so I really want to do that for you guys because I really appreciate all the support you show the channel. We actually just passed 1,000 subscribers recently, which is very exciting, and one of the reasons I wanted to do something cool, but then I got sick. So we're changing up the plan a little bit, and I promise that genie video is on the way soon. But in the meantime, I have a really cool project lined up for March. We're going to be doing some extra videos next month, so be sure to subscribe so you don't miss that. And then coming up at the end of April, it's going to be Dragon Week, the D&D community event organized by Ginny D in Pointy Hat. Last year it was Kraken Week, and this year we're doing Dragon Week. So I have an exciting project planned for that also, so I hope you'll stay tuned for that as well. And as always, thank you so much for watching, and let me know in the comments down below what creatures you'd like to see me build next.